And we have a go for auto sequence start. T minus 17 seconds and countdown. All systems are go. Start. 2, 1. Booster ignition and liftoff.
It's time to charge up with Victor Pisano.
Hey everybody, it's Victor Pisano and welcome to another edition of the Powercast from Charge Up. All too often people refer to me as a motivational speaker, or they'll refer to Charge Up's platform as a motivational platform. But I want to be clear on something here. I'm not a big motivational guy. In other words, to me, when I think about motivation is very temporary. Motivation really doesn't have the strength behind it to change an action. It doesn't necessarily change your personality. It doesn't change your mindset. Now, it can temporarily affect it. I don't want to discount what motivation can do. You can read a quote and be motivated by it. You can hear somebody speak and be motivated by it. But for me, I look at a totally different side of what I try to do. My primary job for Charge Up is to try to create, find, build resources and a message and content that revolve around inspiring you to find the leader within. So for me, inspiration is something that is elicited. Inspiration is a permanent change. Inspiration is a mindset. So when I talk about inspiring others, you hear me use words like integrity, character, and gratitude. And the reason I do that is because I'm looking for long-term effects. I want people to make life changes. So when you see a program or when you personally take accountability for change within your life, you become inspired by it. Because when you're inspired by something, all of a sudden accountability and responsibility enter into the equation, whereas with motivation, all you're really doing is witnessing or visualizing or seeing something that gives you instant gratification. Now, we do live in a society where instant gratification is a great thing. I want it now, I want it quick, at the push of a button. But let's be realistic. It's the process, not the outcome, that builds our character. So inspiration to me is something that people can carry within them as they go through the process. The most important part of development, they need inspiration to carry them. They need inspiration to be top of mind, because there are going to be times where they want to revert back, but instead they use that inspiration to take small steps forward. And that's how I define success. Success is not leaps and bounds. Success is small steps forward. Motivation doesn't do that for you. Motivation will elicit a response, but it doesn't push you towards success. Whereas inspiration, if applied correctly, if received correctly, and if you're able to find exactly the place in your life where you can take what you're learning, make a positive change, and figure out where to make an impact in your life and others, you see, that inspiration now has a return on investment. You want that kind of inspiration to take you to another level. And then what happens is you find another level of inspiration, which moves you even further. And then there becomes a time where you're no longer receiving inspiration, but rather giving inspiration, because it's a pay it forward concept. And that's what's beautiful about it. Think, motivation, you cannot pay motivation forward. Inspiration, you can pay it forward, because you can elicit those same actions of who inspired you. You can gain the knowledge of the inspiration. You can learn, you can teach, you exhibit. All of these things are going to be actionable items that you do repetitively. So now you're inspired, but by your actions and by your enthusiasm and your passion, all of a sudden others are responding to what you're doing. So you see, that's the pay it forward. You have inspired somebody else when your quest all along was simply to inspire yourself. Inspiration works both ways. Motivation is a singular concept. Don't get the two confused. I am not a motivational speaker. I do not look for the rah. I don't want to walk in, get you excited, and then the next day you come back in the same position you were prior to even hearing me speak. The same goes with the content that I put out. I don't want a blog or a podcast to motivate you. I don't want temporary results. I want the content collectively, and when I say collectively, it may take 4, 5, 6 podcasts. It may take weeks of reading the blogs to understand what my position is. If you and I align, you read something into it, and it changes the way you think or it changes the way you behave, well, all of a sudden you can treat my content as inspirational because it elicited a change, an action on your part. And that's what my goal is at Charge Up. Look at exactly what I've put out there. Go back to the website, chargeuptoday.com. Start from the beginning and look at the blogs, the podcasts, the videos. You're going to see a common theme because we revolve around 3 basic pillars: leadership, integrity, and action. Everything revolves around those 3 things. We're not going to stray. And the reason we've established those 3 pillars is because those are what we feel are most important and can contribute the most. That is what's going to set us apart from every other person talking about leadership. It's easy to be blindsided and see something on social media where instant gratification. You think you're inspired because you see them in a Lamborghini in front of a mansion telling you about 7-figure income. But you see, that's just a facade. I'm not saying they didn't earn it. I'm not saying that the story's not true, but you cannot let that shadow the reality of the process you have to go through. There aren't any secrets to success. It's hard work and perseverance. There are no overnight sensations unless you consider overnight to be 5, 10, 15 years. Then you're an overnight sensation. But my point is, look for inspiration because it is all around you. It's not just in my messages and my content. Inspiration is through discovery. If you're present in life, if you are aware of your surroundings, if you're not thinking about tomorrow or still worried about yesterday, the art of being in the present, in the moment, is an incredible thing because there is inspiration all around you if you are open enough, vulnerable enough, humble enough to see it. Allow yourself to process it. Take the time. I'm telling you, you will be a better person for it. So here's the deal. When you think of Charge Up, don't think of motivation. Think of inspiration. When you think of Charge Up, understand that my objective is to help you elicit the greatness that you already have inside of you. That's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm committed to do. And if I can do it to one person through a blog, one person through a podcast, one person through a video, one person through a social media post, then you see, I've achieved my objective because I'm not looking to affect the masses. If I can affect one person, who knows how many people that one person can affect moving forward. That's my goal. That's my commitment to you. And that is what Charge Up is all about. Thank you for listening. Thank you for your support. You know you can find everything you need all over social media. When you're doing the podcast, all over. We're everywhere. Here's what I'm talking about, okay? SoundCloud, iHeartRadio, iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, Libsyn. I mean, there isn't a platform that you cannot listen to a podcast. Go to the YouTube channel, subscribe, Charge Up today. We are one-stop shopping for leadership. I hope you have an incredible day. Make a difference today. Go find a place that you can make an impact. Thank you for listening. Have a great day. And don't forget, my friends, charge up.
Roger, we'll stop. That was a picture-perfect end to a top-fuel mission. Everybody, welcome back to Earth.
Thanks for listening to Charge Up with Victor Pisano. Subscribe to the podcast at chargeuptoday.com.